print list.pop. So it actually prints what name, what element has been popped out. So it is showing Yaska has been popped out, and I tried to print the remaining list. So it printed me the remaining elements present in that list. So pop is one of the important function which you can use. And so after pop, we are jumping into dictionary. So dictionary is denoted in terms of key value pairs. For let's take an example where you want to search some meaning. So I want to search the meaning of computer. So what happens is the word which you are searching for is called as the key, and the corresponding value or the meaning which was returned, this thing, the entire meaning which was written here is called the value. So dictionary is denoted in terms of key value pairs. So here let's search for worry or whatever, any word which you want to search for. So the worry is called as the key value. Key, not the key value, it is the key, and the corresponding meaning which was generated here, this entire thing, is the value of this key called as worry. So that is how you should acknowledge a dictionary. So a dictionary is denoted by curly braces. Curly braces are something called as these braces, the flower braces. We also called it as the flower braces. So tuples are generated by small brackets. A list is denoted by a square brackets, while as a dictionary is denoted in terms of the flower braces or the curly braces. So how you declare a dictionary? So let's create a variable which is called as word. And since I have told you that dictionaries are usually gender declared, given, or yeah, you can take it as given. They are actually given in these flower braces. So I have declared a variable and I have given a flower braces. And amongst this, I have given a key value called as Afghanistan, and its corresponding value is 30.55. Let's take it as some population or something like that. And I have given another key called as Albania and its corresponding value, and I have generated another key called as Algeria, and I have given you can give it, okay. So this is the key and this is it, this is the value of that corresponding key. So let's try to print the key, let's try to print the value for Albania. So that can be written as world, and I am trying to access the index part, like the square brackets is used for accessing. So world of Albania, and it should print me 2.77. So if I try to print Afghanistan, so it should return me 30.55. So using the key you can get that result value. So this is how you declare a dictionary. You would mention the key and its corresponding value, a key and its corresponding value, and another key and its corresponding value. So this is how you do. And if you want to add another new key, unlike lists, what you do is you use the append function, or you use the arithmetic operator plus operator. But in dictionary that doesn't work like that. So how you will do is you would use this variable which you have used for declaring a dictionary, and you would use the new key called as I wanted to add India, and I wanted to put its corresponding value as holy smokes. So when I try to print the world again, so it returns Afghanistan, Albania, Algeria, and India. So did you guys understand? So this is how you add new variables, or new, it is not actually variables, it is key values into a dictionary. You can do anything like this. Like, let's say if I want to add Australia, and I want to put a corresponding key like this. So see, it had replaced this world of India with Australia. So this is how you add new key value pairs into a dictionary. And so this is a small cheat code or a bro code which you can say. So if I want to access the value of holy smokes, so I would write something like world of India. So that would automatically generate your result as holy smokes. So you should be knowing it that if you want to access a value, so you should be entering that variable first, and in that variable you should be accessing the key. So you are accessing the variable, and in that variable you already know that you have India, right? So you will mention the key value here, and it automatically prints the value for that corresponding key. So this is how you declare a dictionary, or this is how you add new keys into a dictionary. So if I wanted to add USA here, so what I did is I wrote the variable, and I have given the key, and for that key I have given a corresponding value. So what it ultimately returned is it printed me Afghanistan, Albania, Algeria, India, and USA as a new key value pair in that dictionary called as world. So this is my basic variable which I have used for dictionary. So this is the key and this is the value. And in case if I want to delete USA because I want to delete this USA thing, so what I would do is I would say delete world. It is just enough if you mention the key, and there is no need. If you remove the key, it will remove the value also. So what I have done is I have used this del keyword. If you have attended my previous classes, you would know the del operator. The delete operations are performed by using the del operator. And world of USA. So when I have done it, it ultimately returned me a deleted value of this key USA, and it had given me the former dictionary with Afghanistan, Albania, Algeria, and India. So this is the usefulness of knowing about a dictionary. So I have told you dictionary because at first we would be generating a data frame using a dictionary, and later on we would be developing data frames from Excel sheets, from .csv files and all. So we are jumping into pandas. So pandas is, this is the Google definition in computer programming. Pandas is a software blah 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 blah. So there is nothing to be worried about this huge definition. If you want to visualize the data into a data frame, you would be using pandas. So it is as simple as that. So again, I have declared a dictionary. I have declared a dictionary with country as the key and the corresponding values in a list, and capital with corresponding capitals of the countries again in a list. So I have generated a dictionary like this, and what I have done is I have imported panda. So pandas is imported by this convention. Import pandas as PD is the standard convention we use. And what I have done is I wanted to visualize this entire dictionary in form of a data frame. So if you guys have listened to my previous sessions, you would be knowing what data frame is. Data frame is a structured way in which you would be having these columns and observations in an ordered way. So I wanted to convert this entire dictionary into a data frame. So I have done it by writing pd.dataframe, and I have given the dictionary here, and I have taken that whole value into a variable called as bricks. So bricks is nothing but B for Brazil, R for Russia, I for India, C for China, and S for South Africa. So in short form, I have given it as bricks. And when I tried to print bricks, so what happened is it gave me, see, it is so clumsy here, right? Everything you have declared in this dictionary is so clumsy. But when I have kept it in a data frame, so see how ordered it is. So the country and its corresponding observations were in this ordered fashion with capital. So Brazil for Brasilia, and the area in Brazil is 8.56516, and its population is somewhere around 200.40. So this is the use of data frame. So this whole thing, this is called as a data frame. Means you would be having the labels and the observations for those corresponding labels. So country is the label, and the observations for label country is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. This is the way I have declared a dictionary, and I didn't want to visualize this everything in this fashion with these apostrophes, these lists, brackets, and everything. So what I wanted to do is I wanted it as a clean structured data frame format. So I have done it by using pd.dataframe, and I have given my dict part here. So it resulted me in this structured fashion. So if you guys have understood here, then the next part would be very easy. So if you guys didn't understand it, I'd be revising it from starting again. So do you want me to go further, or should you want me to revise once again? Okay. So yeah, since if you remember, I have told you bro code, like if you want to access some value, you should be using the variable, and then that corresponding label, the key, whatever you might call it. So the same applies here. So if I want to access country, so what I would do is I have given this whole thing in bricks, right? The data frame and everything in this bricks variable. So I will write something like bricks, and I wanted to access country. So I will write this country label here. So it prints only this country, the label country, and the corresponding values, the observations which are there in that country. It prints me only this Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So if I want to print the corresponding observations in capital, okay, so this part, so it prints me Brasilia, Moscow, Delhi, Beijing, Pretoria. So if I give it give area here, so let's give area. So it will give me only those observations which are present in the area column. And if I give population here, it would give me only those values. Let's say I want both capital and as well as population. So I will give capital and population. So this should result me with both capital and population. Did you understand? So if I want to include area as well in here, so I'll give it like this. So this is how you play hands-on tricks with a data frame. If you want to access something like this from this, like if I want to access the area, it would be pretty much difficult to do that in dictionary. But once when you convert it into a data frame, so everything would be as feasible as it is. Like this would be much easier to access every data point. So yeah, this is the few things. So this is the same example. If I wanted to access capital, population, and area, that would do it. And yeah, the next is lock and ilock. So lock means label based, and ilock is integer based. So I can say you that by if I'm using bricks.lock, so what it means is I can only use this country and capital because these are the label names, right? You can see the corresponding difference between lock and ilock. So there you go. Instead of I'm giving country and capital, so country and capital are at index position 0 and 1, right? So here, since I am using ilock, which is an index based location, so it should give me country and capital. So when I am using lock function, I am giving the label names because I have told you lock is label based. So I should be giving only country and capital. If I give here 0 and 1, it would return me an error. So if I want to write something like 0 and 1 for my own sake of convenience, so I would be writing 0 and 1. So what's the difference here is like few people are actually interested in using indices and few people are interested in using the label names directly, because the mathematical statisticians who are very much having expertise in mathematics and all, they would prefer doing all in mathematical way. They would be making this as much as complicated as it looks like. They would be using iloc mostly. But for other people who have come from other backgrounds and all, it is pretty much convenient to use the label names. So most those people will be using the log function, but the statisticians from mathematics background and all, they would be using this ilog. So there is nothing much difference. The only difference is in log you would be using these label names. These are the label names. But in ilog, since it is index based ilog, we are using this I. So you would be giving these indices rather than giving the label names. So that is the only difference between log and ilog. So it depends on your convenience, like what you want to use. Generally, I prefer using log because the label names are pretty much easy rather than the indices, because I would get pretty much confused if it is 0, 1 and going from row and column. So I would be using log. It depends entirely upon your use case. If you are okay with using ilog indices and everything, if you are not getting confused, so 0 and 1 ilog would be a better choice for you. So I understood. If you see there, the order in the dictionary and the column order is different. I didn't get you. Where is the difference? Balaji, I didn't get you, bro. If you see there, the order in dictionary and the column order is different. I didn't notice any differences. Okay, so instead of you people getting confused, what I will try to do is, you are seeing this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and you are getting confused, right? So I'll replace it by BR RU IN CH and South Africa. So again, I'll try to it, and what I'm doing is I'm replacing this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 with these BRRUINCHSA, which stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, so that you will not be getting confused. Read above comments area. Yeah, I have read it, but I didn't understand what he was trying to say. So again, I will be going again. So this is the dictionary which I have given. So I have used pandas and I have given my data frame and I have given my own indices. Instead of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, I have labeled them as BRRUINCHSA, and when I printed them, so this is the data frame which I have got. So in bricks I wanted to access capital, population and area, so I have given it like bricks of capital, population and area. So again, since we have, so there you go, BR RU India, China, bricks dot capital. Since we have done it, we should be compiling it all over again. Last sixth comment. Where is this last sixth comment? Where is the last sixth comment? I didn't get you. Could you please denote me with these cell numbers? What actually? Just scroll the comments, bro. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bro, how are you getting columns in specific order like capital after population like that due to data frame use? How are you getting columns in specific order like capital after population? Okay, so There is nothing like that. If I give like, wait, this is how I wanted my data frame to be. So if I give area here, so it doesn't make much difference. It prints area before. It is all your sake of convenience. I wanted to print it like this. So since I have given the order like this, really doesn't mean that everything should be following the same order. So I wanted like this. It depends on you. See, the whole thing here is you are a data scientist, and the way you are analyzing any data depends on your sake of convenience. So if I wanted area first, I would be preferring area to be kept forward. If I want something else first, for example, let's say I want to print country first, so I would be putting country before. So it entirely depends on your sake of convenience, and there is nothing like that you should be following any strict order. So everything comes from your own skills. I am teaching you guys only the skills, but how you implement them is entirely on your exposure to the concepts and everything. I think how are you getting columns in a specific order like capital after population? Like that's the thing I have said. In 59 have print bricks, it gives an order which you have not mentioned in 59. Country capital. I didn't get you guys what you are saying. Okay, anyhow, I will tell from the beginning. It looks like you have been pretty much confused. Yeah, so what is the use of lock and iLock is if I want to access this thing by the use of labels, so I would be writing the label name directly here. I would be using the label names if I am using lock function. But few people are actually interested in using the indices. So for those people, if they use iLock, then they should be giving the corresponding indices. So country and area, not the country and area. So country and capital, this is at the index position 0 when you see from column wise. This is at index position 0 and this is at index position 1. So if I'm using dot iLock, so I would be giving 0, 1 because country is at index position 0 and capital is at index position 1. But if I'm using lock, what I will do is I will just give the label name because it is not iLock, right? iLock means index location based, but lock is generally a label based. So country, I would be giving the country and I would be giving the capital. So I want to print this. This actually means that if you have no known much thing about slicing, so this means that you wanted to print everything in the column country and capital. So this is what it does. So it prints the entire observations present in the country and capital. So you guys are getting confused with these indices. So what I will try to do is now you will be pretty much clear. Okay. Now once listen from the starting. So this is the dictionary. I have given a key value of country, a key value of capital, a key value of area, a key value of population, and its corresponding values in a list. So what I have tried to do is I imported pandas and I have converted this dict into a data frame. And since you guys are getting confused with the indices and everything, so what I have done is I have replaced the indices with these short values which are called short notations actually. So Brazil for BR, Russia for RU, India for IN, China for CH, and South Africa for SA. So as a whole, my data frame looked something like this. Okay. So what I have tried to do is I wanted to access only, I didn't want to access area. So I wanted to know only about country, capital, and population. So what I have did is, since I have given my data frame in bricks, so I have written something like bricks of country, capital, and population. So that returned me the country label and its corresponding observations, the capital label with its corresponding observations, and the population label with its corresponding observations. Okay. So if I wanted to print only capital, so instead of writing, see, both are same, again you would be confused. Both the notations are same, bricks dot capital or bricks of, in this notation both are same. So you guys need not get confused about why I'm using again only dot and not this entire notation. In a data frame, both of these works. Either if you write bricks dot capital or bricks of capital, both of them works. So yeah. And next what I have tried to explain you is about lock and iLock. So in order to remove any confusion, let's remove this cell and let's remove this again. So lock means label based. So what I have tried to do is this country, capital, and population, these are all labels, right? So since I'm using lock, I cannot mention the indices. So what I have tried to do is I have given this label name and I have taken this label name and I have given here. So I wanted to print all the elements in the label named country and capital. So when I have used the lock operator, so what it had tried to do is it have given me all the observations based on those corresponding label names. So instead I was using the colon operator here, but if I don't want to use the colon operator and I wanted to print specific parts, like I wanted to print only for Brazil, Russia, and India, the corresponding country and area, so it had given me the data frame like this. But if I wanted to use .iloc method, which is an index based, so br, ru, and in. So if you go here, br, ru, and in, if you see from the top to bottom approach, it is at index position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you go from left to right approach, country, not the country, yeah, here, it will be 0, it would be 1, it would be 2, and it would be 3. So this is 0, 1, 2, right? So since I'm using .iloc, so 0, 1, 2, which means it gives only Brazil, Russia, and India. And if you go again top here, 0, 1 is country and capital. So since I have used .iloc, I have given the indices as 0 and 1. So it has given me the corresponding data frame like this. So that is the, if you use lock operator, you would be giving the label name. If you use the .iloc operator, you would be giving the indices. So did you guys understand again? Because we didn't mention any indices. I hope I have cleared your doubt. If there is nothing you understood, you can watch my video again because I have so much of thing to explain. So CSV file. So how would you import a CSV file? So what you should be doing is, like, you go here, you go into some CS file, like the library or some website which has several CSV files. So in here I went and I have downloaded this annual enterprise survey. So what I have done is, once I have downloaded it, it gets saved in my desktop. So this is the annual enterprise survey CSV file. So the next part which you would be doing is, you would be using your collaboratory and you would be clicking on this upload to session storage, and what it does is it tries to upload your CSV file here. And once you upload the CSV file here, could you see those three dots here? When you when you click on it, you would be getting this copy path thing. So you would click on copy path and you would be writing a variable called as path, and in that you would be mentioning the path. You would be pasting the path here, And once you are done with it, the default function or the protocol which we use to read a CSV file is pd.read CSV, and the path where you contain the data file, the data set, you would be mentioning it here. So pd.read underscore CSV and the location of the CSV file, you already have it in the path variable, right? So you would be giving it here. And when you try to print the data frame, print cell, it would give you something like this. And on that you can, since there are like 13,900, see 13,932 rows is actually a very small number. In real life, in companies and everything like that, you would be having somewhere around 2 lakh to 3 lakh rows. So that type of complexity you would be facing there. So sales.shape would give you back the number of rows and the number of columns. So since you are not able to see all those 13,932 rows and the 7 columns at a stretch, what you would try to do is you would do something like sale.head, and what it tries to do is it gives you the first 5 entries in that data set. So it gives you the first 5 entries. And if I write something like sale.tail, it gives you the last 5 entries in that data set. And again, I have told you if I want to access only year in that data set, so I would be using sale.year. This is same as writing this. Both works same for the data set. Okay, now it's fine. So this is how you import a CSV file. You would upload your CSV file here. You would click on it. You would copy the path. You would paste the path into a variable, and you would use this variable and paste it here, and use this read CSV function, because this file is a CSV file. If it is an Excel file, you would be using something like read underscore Excel. So once you have given your path and you have used this read CSV function using your pandas, so what it tries to do is it converts the entire CSV file into a data frame, and it would, if you try to print it, it would return something like this. And if you want to know its shape, it would be using, you would be writing something called sales.shape, and it would be resulting you with this number of rows and these are the number of columns. Since you are not able to visualize this entire data set, what you would try to do is you would write something called sale.head, and it gives you the first 5 entries. And if you write sales.tail, it would give you the last 5 entries. And if you want to access something in that data set, let's say I wanted to access year, so I would be writing sale.year or sale of year using this column bracket notation. So both of those works. So that is the very standard thing of how you import a CSV file. There are several operations which you can do on a data set, but as of now I want you guys to know and have much clear knowledge about how you give your path for a CSV file, and how you can actually read it by using this pd.read CSV function, and then the sale.head and sale.tail. So these both are two important things which you should be knowing while you work on a data frame. The iloc and lock, that is also something you should be knowing, because in here this is a small example, right? This is very simple one, but when you go into something like this much of a data frame, this big size, so at that time it entirely depends on how you use like .iloc. The only thing with the .iloc is the indices are pretty much difficult to sum up. Like I am facing difficulty from the beginning when I'm learning this lock and iloc to remember the indices. So I always stick on with lock operator. So giving label names is much easier than finding out the indices and everything like that. So you guys understood till here? Once I am done, I would be entirely revising it so that you would not find any confusion again. And next, so that is the only thing you should be knowing about how you read a CSV file and everything. So again, as we further progress, I will be telling you how you can actually perform different statistical operations on them. So till now, it is good for you to know only till this part. And in the next 3 or 4 classes, you would be entirely proficient. You would be becoming, if you like practice enough and enough, then you would be proficient in handling these data sets and all. So the next part will be looping. So before going into looping, let's know about certain few numeric operations. Like 2 is less than 3, right? So it should be returning you to true, and 3 double equal to 3. It should be returning you true, and 4 less than equal to 8. It would be giving you true. So these are like standard things, and you should be knowing about the and or operator. So true and true will give you true, true and false will give you false. But in case of or operator, true or false will give you true. Like in AND operator, if both the conditions are true, then only you would be getting true. But in OR operator, if either the condition is true, you would be getting the true value. And not true will print you the negotiated value, like the opposite value. So not true opposite value would be false, and not false would be true. So that is one important thing. And here again, I have did the same thing. I have given the dictionary and the corresponding key value pairs. The values are given in a list. And for capital as the key value, the corresponding values were given as Brasilia, Moscow, Delhi, Beijing. So these I have given only because I wanted to show you this. So I wanted to print those values which have area greater than 5. So when you see in this data frame, you can see that the labels which are having greater than 5. So this is not greater than 5. So India is not greater than 5, and South Africa is not greater than 5. So if I wanted to print something where the area is greater than 5, so I should be getting result as China, Russia and Brazil. So I have given bricks of area should be greater than 5, and I have taken it into a variable, and I have given the same thing again into a bricks. So in order to not confuse the people, so see, so the greater than 5 is true for BR, it's true for RU, but it's false for India, and it's true for China, and it's false for South Africa. So I have taken those values into greater to 5 in that variable, and again I tried to print it using this function. So bricks of greater to 5, so it resulted me with these values. So if you go into my previous videos, you would know, like I have told you how you would use these operations. So if you have been missing it, you please go and check that. And yeah, so the next thing is, since here it is very easy, like true and true gives you true, we have said it very easily. But if you wanted to know how to use it in a data frame, so you should be using NumPy again. So that can be done by using np.logical and. So that gives you, so here I wanted to print the area only between 8 and 10. So not 8 and 10, it's 5 and 10. So what I have done here is I have given this value bricks of area greater than 5 and bricks of area less than 10, and I have given that np.logical and operator. That means both of them should satisfy that condition. So if I have done it, it gave me true and true only for these values. So again, I can print them by writing. So yeah, between 5 and 10, the area is for only Brazil and China. For the rest all, it is above, it is below 8 and they are above 10. So 8 above and 10 below. So BR for Brazil and China. So you would be getting only those things, because we have written the AND operator and it should satisfy both the conditions. So the same would be for OR, np.logical OR, and you can use your own computations and examples for knowing the OR operator better, and that I will leave for your part.